Hello, everyone. This, of course, is Gamer 1745 coming to you from my secret mountain base that I am currently building. It is not fully set up yet. And I've got a little bit of stories here to tell everyone. And yes, okay. First off, I do plan on releasing these as episodes and not just the live stream here. I'll get to some of the questions and comments in just a moment with the live stream. The Black Ice people, if you remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago because we did not stream over Christmas, they updated the main version of Black Ice with no notice. So I was not able to preserve my previous game, my previous playthrough. That's a bit aggravating. Where before they had given me plenty of notice. I mean, not just me, but everybody on their Discord server. You should check their Discord server out. It's good. At least not on any major announcement. Maybe somewhere buried in the forum they mentioned it. But so that screwed that up. Now, one video which I've just, for various reasons, been owing a few people of how to make Black Ice so that won't happen. So, and I'm going to do that when I get back home to my my home by the sea, where I have my primary computer, and I will show how to do that. I did that for the previous version that we were playing, and I just I just don't want to do it right here now with all that's going on my laptop, and record the episode. So I will be doing that to show how you can preserve a particular version of any mod, so that you can play it longer if they're updating it, or even if theoretically the mod is removed from Steam or other things. But Steam is a great way to for people to simply get mods to their games, but it does have drawbacks like that. So I was saying hi to some of the people here in chat before I got started with the episodes. Yes, yes, happy belated Christmas to everybody, and I hope a happy new year. And hello, don't know how is that. Lol Hawk or Gamer? I don't know. Hi to you. Right. So like I was saying, I'm currently up in my secret mountain base in very high altitude. I am doing well. Yesterday I was driving and I saw my first deer here, not first deer in life, but here near my secret mountain base, and I actually had to wait for it to cross the road. The other two or three behind it sort of hung back, so I drove on, and then I saw another deer, and then I saw another few deer, and then later I saw some more deer. So yesterday was lots of deer on the road or standing next to the road. Oh, well, you see, actually, as I'm remembering this, there were 3 deer out on the perimeter of my secret mountain base. No, I didn't get any photos of them. I was with one of my henchmen, and we were planning the outer defenses, walking around there, and what we should do with them and everything. So these deer that they were uh, 40 feet from us, walk by casually while we were standing there talking. That would be 12, 13 meters for you Europeans who don't know natural measurements. So lots of deer yesterday in the evening. And no, my secret base doesn't have a death ray. Toy Jet, who obviously is evil, but I'm not necessarily the evil genius. No, this is I'm thinking I'm a good guy here, just with secret mountain base to hide out in. Giant pool with sharks. Now I do plan on sharks with lasers. I mean that's going to definitely be part of the base. Secret mountain, yeah. Oh, machine guns. Oh, lots and lots of machine guns are going to be all around it for sure. Rocket launchers, yeah. Well, rocket launchers for to deter. Let's see, small flying birds. Yeah, that's yes, because yes, Sing, I do have a secret base. It is up in the mountains, rather high altitude, at least for me. The guy in the picture reminds me of the cat. Oh, cat. Hello, Munkenstrap. I don't know if that you mean this guy with the funny mustache. Yeah, um, maniacally so. And hello, Arno. Good to have you here, my friend. So yes, all caught up. Birds aren't real; they're government drones. Well, of course, that's why we need surface-to-air missiles to shoot the birds down if they get too close. So yeah, that is, and a few of the videos that I posted recently were also made on the laptop, and I hadn't checked the settings on the laptop, so they came out at 720p and 1080 instead of 1080p, like they should do. So hopefully I've got the settings reasonably good in the currently now, and I'm going to, when I get back home, check to make sure they're as right as they should be optimized as all. So the world might be going to hell. So having a secret mountain base to retreat to. And we were literally talking with one of my henchmen here um, about sort of defenses for it and building a what do we call it? A manufacturing plant here to not a big one, sort of a private. Yeah, you might call it a machine shop and wood shop type manufacturing plant here on my base. So no, 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 no. I don't know of any. Well, I don't know of any stolen Russian hydrogen bombs. Maybe you know of where some is like are. Well, some are that I can get, or at least one is toy jet. And no, no, no drills to the center of the earth. Slide if you're building a base. No reason you can't make. Yeah. Now, a few of my henchmen has. No, we're not holding the earth hostage. That's not the plan. It's not the plan. No, no nefarious plans. No, no, no. Just the opposite. Trying to survive possible catastrophes here is all. Water slide. I hadn't thought of a water slide. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it's partially designed to keep you out, Toy Jet, because we know you're evil. So, you know, come on. What do you think here? So, it's good to have a friend like Toy Jet on another continent because he's way away from you. So, that kind of thing. Hello, Nick. How you doing? Can you also build nuclear power? No, I'm not Disney. I don't have the rights to build nuclear power plants. Don't have any uranium or plutonium. Yeah, yeah. Just it's a mountain hideaway here. Um, Now there are a few pictures on Discord, but they're in the sort of private friends of gamer chat. So um, just going over there doesn't necessarily get you in. I just realized in my playthrough here, where is it? Here, I had forgotten to do this. I played, as you can maybe see, up to 1938. That's, I think, sort of kind of close to where we were. Okay, let's do this. So should have done that before. I've not done it until right now. some more of the armed forces here. Right, okay. Well, I think we'll just leave them like that. And yes, it looks like everything is going well. So yeah, I'm doing that. I'm acquiring more armaments to defend the base and all of that. So someday maybe videos from inside the base we will see, but probably not right away. Recruiting, oh, we don't have enough equipment for these units here. Not enough equipment to train. Horse transport is what is missing. And anyways. Okay, I am back on the game here. I am come to the belief that, and yes, I know they are working on balancing, and yes, I know putting this in. And I've talked before about how much metal you need in horse transport. Yes, I get the industrial, if you will, or scale production of horses very much was a thing. And the wagons definitely use metal on them, but I would say they're primarily wood construction. So, but you know, okay, some metal, fine. I think this factory output level, and you can see we are not, not 100% efficiency here, but we are pretty good at efficiency for this. I think this should be putting out a lot more horse transports for how much we need for divisions and whatnot. After many Bollywood makes movies, you want to know about it. Yeah. We'll see if Bollywood ever wants to make a movie about me or whatever. Place teller mines around this compound. All right. Yes. Yeah. I hadn't even thought about mines yet. Should add wood, don't you? No, I don't. Should we add cloth to the game? Okay, here's a and I know it didn't start with black ice, but they are definitely continuing the problem. We're going to call it that. Here is. We can look here that IC cost here to build a Kuba wagon is 2.3, right? And 112 of resources. 2.5. Now, if you look at this thing here, this, at least to me, looks like it has windows on the side and is more sophisticated body. This thing does have front windshields, yes, but no windows other than that, at least I don't think normally. This should be cheaper than this, okay? Germany had access, and I don't know about the stowers, quite honestly, but Germany had access to some really good, and I know specifically about the Tatra vehicles. They had some access to some really, really good. And hey, the Mercedes-Benz 6-axle staff car. That was a great off-road vehicle that they made like 12 of them, or some number, maybe 24, or some number that Mercedes-Benz initially thought they could convince the German army to buy a bunch for their generals. Obviously, like one per general or something. They don't, and that they just build a few. Now, Hitler has one. The King of Spain, they still have that one around. Was given one. One was somewhere out here in Hollywood. Don't know where it is now, but used sort of in the Hogan's Heroes TV show a bit as they rented it to use it for that. So Germany had access to great 4-wheel drive, light vehicles. They downgrade from 4-wheel drive to a 2-wheel drive, super lightweight vehicle here, super cheap, super, to manufacture lots of them. So should use less resources. So to reflect this, it should go, like this should be like 1, 1, and 2 for this vehicle, say. This should probably be a 1, 1, 1 and cost down at just 2.0 kind of thing, or maybe even less, I don't know. But it is definitely a simplification of manufacture, a simplification of resource usage, that type of thing. Now, the other thing is getting on to, mention should wood be in the game. Now, wood is a critical resource in World War II. But what kind of wood and where? And that's where you sort of get into problems with a resource called wood. I know, like in Finland, there is lots and lots of small trees. They can grow pretty fast. There's a lot of them. And I don't know why this is, this may be blocked off. No. Troops may not enter demilitarized. Okay, don't know what that means. Other than some sort of event thing. There was lots of wood gasifiers, and I got to explain this because new people will be watching. I'll get back to the chat here in a moment. When you burn wood or coal, a gas comes off of it that it in itself is flammable, okay? So the wood burns, your sort of smoke, but gas comes off of it, and you can light that itself on fire. Now, they used to do what they called town gas in the late 19th century, early 20th century, in which in towns or cities, it was gas, is where the term gas lighting comes from. A lot of things, if you look back at the old Sherlock Holmes, all the street lights, those were gas lamps, and you would have gas coming into your home. What they would do often would be burning coal and siphoning off this gas and running it through pipes through the city and into people's homes or into the street lights, and then you would light them on. You'd open the valve and light them on fire, and when you're done with them, you would close the valve and they would just go out. And it's that type of gas that would work in an internal combustion engine. And I know some of you have already listened to some of my lectures on this, but it's not as powerful. There's like stories that also in Germany, and Britain, both countries, and I know in other ones in Europe, they would convert vehicles over, because you can take your standard internal combustion engine, convert it over to burn wood. And so, like one of the intercity buses running around Germany, a lot of them were converted over to wood gasifier engines. There's a whole major industries in building them during World War II. And it was described that, like, between two towns somewhere, all the passengers would have to get off, and a good chunk of at least the younger passengers, men and women, would help push the bus, part of a kilometer over sort of a steep part of the road in between two towns, and then everybody get back in and drive on. So it's not, and you can also see some photos of some tanks that were used as training tanks, not used out in the field. Training tanks that were gasifier engines. So wood as a fuel source is very useful in places like Finland, like Germany, have lots of wood, and then there's other parts of the world that wood is not, super plentiful to just convert over. Um, yeah, and no, it's no problem, John. I like people's comments, and it gives me a way to talk about it. Now, Japan, I own a couple of Arisaka, or what we call Arisaka rifles from World War II, and they have two-piece stock, wooden stocks. It's the full length of the normal stock, but where you normally sort of drops down to where you grip on it and the the shoulder part of it, you can see a line on both of the stocks where they've glued two pieces of wood together because Japan does not have, at least during World War II, access to hardwood that was suitable for making stocks. Yeah, you can see lots of wood and built-in castles, and their whole cities were built out of wood. But hardwood that was suitable for rifle stocks, they just didn't have. And so all of their rifles are these two pieces of wood glued together. Where you look at a German Mauser rifle or like a U.S. Springfield or M1 Garand, those are all going to be single pieces of wood. And that really does make a difference. Now, again, on clothing and cloth, we can see. Oh, and I wanted to come over here to research here again to look at the potential problems with black ice here. Let's see here. Okay, so we have field blouse here, and since we have to produce them, IC cost. There's one deal. And okay, if you're also including your helmet, you're including your belt buckles, your well, we have equipment like entrenching tools, and yeah, well, I mean, helmets are used in multiple places. I still don't know if uniforms should be any sort of resource, because you could have something without consuming a resource in the game. I don't, infantry equipment here where because these are now infantry rifles. I don't know if infantry equipment would be garrison equipment. I don't know if that should be something that like the entrenching shovel. So I don't even know that we should be doing any sort of metal here. But IC cost 24. Let's see what this is. IC cost 27. What? What? I can only think of one thing, and that's in the U.S. inventory, that is more complicated as the war goes through. So this is entirely wrong. Recovery rate and defense rate and reliability. Okay, reliability I get in the sense of boots wearing out, uniforms tearing. Okay, I get reliability, and that comes into the idea of like boots and uniforms being consumed as you march around. The Germans prior to World War II, you would be issued maybe like once a year a new uniform that you had to keep nice. So what they had was sort of a lightweight cloth, white colored. I think they picked white to make soldiers clean. Spend lots of time cleaning it. White sort of fatigue or out doing work kind of uniform to go get dirty in. The uniform was meant to sort of be get dressed up and look sort of nice. Where these other was a much more consumable. And sometimes some pictures of them drilling out on the field in these things or doing field work out there. They're wearing these white cheap uniforms to make where this is going on. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with what is called the Eisenhower jacket. That's sort of I think it starts in British service. The Americans make a version of it. It's a jacket that, most jackets, if you look for infantry or officers, go down past where the belt is. And pants in the 1930s and 1940s had a much higher waist or much higher belts. People weren't as fat back then. At least most people weren't. So their waists were sort of higher belted. And most jackets would go down past this. Well, the Eisenhower jacket stops right at that belt. That was all developed, and the Germans were doing different. And they eventually, too, adopt a version of the Eisenhower jacket, was to reduce the amount of cloth being used on the uniform. And if you look at late war boots, yeah, you can sort of see here, they're generally like shorter and laced up. Whether they're as good for walking or marching in, just on the roads and in standard conditions, but they're going away from the jack boot, the tall boot that you just slipped on, to a shorter lace-on boot here that we find most on most uniforms, nation's uniforms. So I know that a few times talked with some of the Black Ice people, and I don't know if they want to argue their position, but I would really, really love to hear what they're justifying. I get the idea that, oh, well, hey, there's more defense ratings. Well, okay, recovery rate, I sort of kind of get. Because your uniform matters to soldiers. Because if you look at especially like the World War I German mid to late war, not the uniform that they start with, but the mid to late war uniform is very roomy. It's cut very generously. You can move around in it well. Where if you look at the American soldier's uniform of World War I, is very stiff, very tight. It's hard to move around in comparatively. You fast forward to World War II, probably the most roomy, lumpy looking uniform of World War II is the American. I'm talking of the major nations. I don't know all of the minor ones. Is the American uniform. So I could see the idea of recovery rate by the type of uniforms you have affecting your service. Okay, I can see that. Defense. Well, somebody like China, most soldiers don't have helmets. Yeah, you see photos of the well-equipped Chinese soldiers because those are the ones they wanted to show off to the rest of the world. So they were the ones that are doing it. Hey, Ragar, good to see you. How is Japan and Black Ice? I think doing all right. I haven't played it in the more modern versions of Black Ice, but I think it's doing all right. Meaning it's doing, I'm trying to get to, and with several restarts, it's slowing down. And, we can see what they're doing here. Normally they're doing pretty good in that they're conquering much of what they should historically in China, and not conquering at all. Seeming to be doing okay in conquering a lot of the Pacific Islands. So handling that balance relatively well if that's what you're talking about. And so, yeah, there's lots of pictures of Soviet soldiers, though I don't know. Yeah, you can look at the Stalingrad campaign in which they're, putting soldiers on boats, taking them across the Volga River and going, hey, yeah, every soldier, here's your 5 bullets. And, oh, 1 out of 4 of you, here's your Mosin Nagant rifle. The other 3 follow behind that dude, and when he falls down dead, pick up his rifle. You've got 5 shots. Yay. Yeah, a lot of these guys don't have helmets. Okay. And so with some of these mass conscript armies here, you very well may not have enough helmets. Germany does not have enough uniforms for World War II. they are constantly, every large, not taking them from the soldiers in the field when they're captured or dead, but when they're capturing, whether it's supply depots or just warehouses back in nations, capitals or big cities, all of those uniforms, all of those helmets are confiscated by the German military. You see the SS, sort of late 19, war starts in late 1939 into early 40. You see the SS transitioning from black to gray in all branches. And where prior to the war, it's really only the Vergens troops and the sort of the field uniform of the Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler. Only their field uniform are they wearing gray. So they convert. That was history. Template here. That they convert to to gray from black. Well, all those black uniforms are still sitting around. They end up, a lot of them being sent to the Dutch SS units and the Norwegian SS units. They later in the war continue to wear black. Lots and lots of the various, captured, whether French or Belgian or Dutch or whatever uniforms, are dyed blue because they can take the sort of the green and dye it blue, and that's sort of the color of the Schutzmannschaft, which there are tens of thousands of these guys. They're sort of rifle armed police, internal security guys that, by later in the war they're being pushed into the front line, but and then also, again, mentioning that, yes, you see Volkssturm people just in civilian clothes, but some of the Volkssturm are being issued these sort of blue uniforms. And you see all of the various captured helmets are being used by various collaborationist forces. So Germany is not producing even enough uniforms. And part of it is a cloth issue, because we were, this talk started on got to go sing. You probably maybe already left, or Nick Wilson. Yeah, I know it's the same person here. See you later. So, part of it is manufacturing capabilities. Part of it is cloth, and particularly with the uniforms we're talking about are wool. That's still the dominant cloth type, or jackets and pants particularly, let alone winter clothing. So, part of it is a resource. Now, the question comes into, and this, John, and everyone to bring up ideas that they have, and it's not my bad. No, it's just you had a thought and you looked at it. Okay, now here, and this is where I don't think the uniform should be in the game, because our uniforms, and I also say I don't think horse transport should be in the game either, because I don't see those as a point of failure in World War II that make or break winning battles or winning campaigns. Now, I like the idea of in Hearts of Iron 3 that controlling certain regions around the world would give effects. Okay, I sort of like that. And one of them was, at least in Black Ice, and I don't remember if it was in the original game, was controlling certain horse regions that would give effect bonuses to your forces wherever they are. And some of those were sort of, like food and whatnot. I sort of like that, so that if you're a nation that doesn't have a large horse population, or isn't, you're at a bit of a disadvantage. But where I really see the points of failure is like motorization or fuel. Okay, so I don't know. There may be somebody, and yes, there are Horse transportation's used for strategic supply movement, moving supplies not internally to a division, shall we say. Um, but do we really need to model that as an independent thing? And do we really have a situation where we just can't say, and if these units here, whatever, whether it's a support unit or mainline unit, these units here that are relying upon horse transportation, they just move at a certain rate, and we're just going to presume it. But here, okay, again, we are at and this is good. This is where I do support what they're doing, because we can now model these things. Is okay, 10 trucks for a whole division of approximately, we'll just go, okay, well, here they're doing 18,000 men. I think that's a bit high for a German division, but I'm not sure. 10 trucks and 20 light vehicles. And if you don't have those, well, you're at a slight disadvantage, because, rushing some troops around or rushing some supplies around or rushing some officers to look around the different parts of the battlefield, because and what this also well could be doing, these light vehicles could be laying field telephone lines. All of the major armed forces that I know of in World War II are using field telephones as I don't know if it's the primary way, especially with some of the American forces that may be more radio, but still are very much laying field telephone lines around at the divisional and corps levels to keep information flowing. And it's not just command information like move the battalion here or move the division there. It's, oh, hey, we're running low on anti-tank rounds and all this or artillery rounds, and we're over, deliver them over, at these coordinates on the map, because that's where we're at. Or we need, we have a battalion over here. Where's, the field kitchen hasn't delivered food in a few days. All these sort of background chatter within the division that the division commander and the division XO and all the people that are planning operation shouldn't be hearing. It should just be all the, stuff that, the grease that keeps the machine working, chatter going on. A lot of that's being done on field telephones between various departments. So yeah, even your non-motorized forces, motorization. Yes, we're coming over here. Here we're looking at a motorized infantry division, 78 heavy transport trucks, 755 standard sort of transport trucks. We've got some Steyr coming in from Austria, 204 light vehicles, and 90 motorcycles. That's also being used. Was there motorcycles on this one too? I just don't remember if we got down there. If I looked, no, they're not using motorcycles. Oh, interesting. I would have thought they would have been there. I don't know. But okay, it's a 90 motorcycle. So motorization is, shall we say, a point of failure for World War II. Either your motorized divisions collapse because, like on the quote unquote the Moscow counteroffensive of the winter from 1941 to 1942. The big push there, Zhukov's push. A lot of these vehicles just don't start. They're frozen up. They don't have good antifreeze in them. They just don't start. So the Germans just leave them in place and start marching back. And of course, which I also love here, the new system is this, motorization levels for, supply. This is, sort of corps and army group kind of supply. And that is also, point of failure. So not just how fast does a panzer division move with only half of its transport functional, because you can move with only half of the transport functional, because, okay, we're going to tow the the artillery pieces that need to be towed. We're going to move the supplies that we need to move. Everybody else can walk, and leave extra supplies that we don't have somewhere, and just take the essentials and retreat, or if just things are broken down and we're moving forward with a smaller force but slower. So you can do that with that. And so that is where I think these resources should be done at. Particularly resources, but also equipment, is at points of failure. Now, if you can come up, not again some battalion or some division somewhere, but if you can show me where in World War II, and maybe a nation like Turkey or Iran just doesn't really fight in it, they may have some sort of problem, but I really don't know of a significant campaign that the lack of horse transport or something was the point of failure, shall we say. Maybe you can point to, oh, hey, if these 10 Soviet divisions had wagons and horses for their stuff, they would have been able to retreat out intact. But because all of their supplies were all in garrisons and all, they're sort of fortification divisions, shall we say, infantry divisions, but sort of optimized to hold fortifications, and their artillery, they didn't have any, there wasn't a 1-for-1 setup of, horse team wouldn't necessarily have, caissons or whatever, but other sort of transport wagons. But again, we could presume, transport wagon, caissons. Sort of going around myself here, but that the artillery was sort of in-placed artillery, and they didn't have the horses or the whatever wheeled transport to properly retreat them. So they just retreat as a mob of men carrying their rifles and whatever food they can carry on them and whatever few bullets they have with them as they march out. Yeah, and if that's enough, but are those really just infantry divisions? Or should those be garrison divisions? Something like these here. Now, this is just a single regiment, or a single battalion here. But you can make up, at least have garrison equipment, which I'm really iffy on whether that, because not garrisons don't. I know that they're showing us here as having searchlights. I don't really know if there's enough garrison equipment, but it's just that they have. Well, this is not. And you could have garrison artillery units that would be cheaper to make. Just they don't move fast because they don't have enough transport. And so you could handle this simply by, because if we can, look here, just simply by changing the stats between, and then the equipment needs between an infantry battalion and a garrison battalion. That type of thing. Okay. Ragar saying, nowadays we are also seeing telephone lines on the battlefield. It is harder to spy on them when it talks through the wire. Absolutely. They're also functionally at scale unjammable. I don't know enough about the modern war in Ukraine as to jamming, but from my training back in the Cold War days, the Soviets were just very much on the idea of jamming by brute force. Their equipment was set up to jam huge amounts of bandwidth with a lot of power to shut everything down. And that shuts down their communications themselves. Now, the Soviets very much, and this is seeing, and I don't know about modern day Russia here, but I do know about the Soviet Union for both what we were expecting and watched training, the Warsaw Pact attack into the West, as well as Soviet operations in Afghanistan, there are clear reports that there would be, say, an Afghan ambush of a Soviet convoy from a particular position. And then the Afghanis knew that, oh, hey, we need to move because there's going to be a response in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, because they're pinning down a column. There's going to be an airstrike coming in, whether from jets or Hind helicopters or whatever. And so they would switch positions. But even when it would seem, and I met, and I wouldn't say like I was buddies with, but I talked personally to a few Americans and others that had gone deep into Afghanistan, and also heard their lectures and whatnot, and read some of their articles, but I did actually talk to them too. That when it should be apparent that there are enemy positions currently being occupied and being firing at the enemy, things like recoilless rifles going off, so backblast and whatnot, they would go in and strike the earlier known position because there was not effective communication set up or whatever to like, oh, hey, now's the helicopters here. I need you to attack Hill 405 instead of 406. No, they would come in the pre-planned attack and executed the attack on Hill 406. And if the Afghanis were still on Hill 406, they might have taken heavy casualties, because it just got blasted. But they switched positions, and they're now in another, covering position, and the guys that are below in the armored fighting vehicles and trucks shooting up at them, looking for some air support to then, either assault the Afghanis or retreat, under protection of the air cover or something. Well, it just wasn't work. So they're very much a pre-planned army. And if you're a pre-planned army that trains up for it and then only periodically maybe updates or whatnot over, landlines, you can just come out and blast jamming out heavily to try to mess up a dynamic army who is relying upon radio communications. That can be, a problem. And so if you have a good army that is going to execute the plan well, and the plan is good, and that is going to overwhelm the dynamic army because they can no longer communicate, yeah, I get that. But I would still rather try to do a dynamic army. But yeah, I would say you're right about Rhaegar, about harder to listen in on, but I would also say jam as well. Okay, a lot of talking, hopefully interesting, but now let's get going on the clock here. We are insufficient. Ooh, whoa. Oh, no, that's because we started. When you start up all of these trades and whatnot, production isn't going. Okay, so we have a bit of extra iron. Oh, why leave that? Well, we have okay. Well, let's shut this down and let's come over to here. Okay, we're not getting all that we need. There, and let's reduce this down. Oh, well, now, what the hell? So this is one thing I don't like. Is I don't mind the idea that they've added, the iron and coal now going to make steel, but I wish this was a little less micromanaging. Okay. Let's reduce. And it is sort of important. Well, 50 is too much. Roll 25. That'd be too much reduction, I think. No, maybe not. Well, now we're down negative. What the hell is going on here? Okay, now that's 2, negative 16. Okay, so we're negative on bauxite here, but we don't need it because we're only doing this, and we're not really able to stop. Okay, now I have been paying. I got up to at one point to using up to 80% or 88% of my available electricity. Now we're down at approximately 82%. We're building a few more electric power plants. We are also an all-purpose one. We have been let's see here. That's chemical here. We are doing this, which will increase capacity, electrical capacity. There, that is going to increase electrical capacity, and 1940. 3%, or what is not increasing capacity, actually, it's reducing the need by 3%, so it's an effective increase there. So, and then this will also, this is chemicals. Okay, this is chemicals over here, chemical industry. Right, so some of these will help with electricity needs, but they've given us more sieve factories, but we do need to watch that with the needs of electrical power. Think we're good enough to maybe build one more military plants. Dive bombing. We can now dive out of the sky and bomb somebody back. Okay, we are in 38, so let's... No, we'll just do the regular speed. Signal company is good. Okay. So we just got that. I think we need to do truck radios. I don't know that we've done that. Well, let's look up here, 38. Yeah. Oh, I forgot all about the war down here. Yes, we are having fun in Spain. This is where we are pushing. You can support that attack there. And Heinkel's better naval bombers. Okay, this is all we can. I think we will push in early now. That. Hey, Hoffmanator, how you doing, my friend? I am doing well. I am, as I told at the start of the stream, I'm up in my secret mountain base and that I'm building here, and so I'm coming to you from my remote computer. Okay, expand co-op, military, civilian, industries. Let's come on. Let's get bombing out of the background. All right. Now I have again those somewhat new around here. I have a tendency to focus very heavily on this side of the map, and I'm probably going to come back and do that to get that research slot. But I do want to look around. So I'm not doing enough of these probably that I should be doing. I mean, that would get me and some of these here. Yeah, we'll come back and do General Staff which grants division organization. Yeah, we may come back and do that next after this because I do want that research slot. Here, you know, we will get some more power plants, which will help. More power plants and a synthetic refinery, particularly the research slot that I want to get done early. And now we can, I think we'll do one more SIF factory right now. Let's throw that there. And after that, let's do another military factory down in Vienna. Yes, the holidays were fun for me. I hope for everybody as well. Back to Spain here. Okay, you. Oh, okay, continue to support the attack there. I think it probably stopped and started up again. Yeah. Well, let's push there. Here, I don't think we're going to close this gap, but we're helping out. Okay, chemical industry. Very good. Now, let's look at infantry radios, core HQ radios. Okay, we need to push down. No, we're going to do that first. I always do the computing machines first once it becomes that year. No, I do not want to reduce my food anymore. Okay, Navy stuff. Well, 800, no. There's better things we can spend our time on, our resources on, I think. Let's look over here. Medium caliber guns. Yeah, we'll do that. Small caliber armor person. Okay, well, they've now moved in. Well, we're not getting any support from the Spanish, so we're stopping that attack. Okay, the Spanish are now attacking again up there. So let's join them in their attack. Get a panzer division in to change the situation. And we can produce. All right. Well, I think there are still some good national focuses to continue to get some of these assembly plants done. So I'm going to let those run for a while. We're down to 78 of needed power supply. So I'm going to throw in another military factory. We can do that here. And get back to our sort of horse transport problem and uniform problem. Okay, we're going to do one more there and one more there. I know we don't have it yet, but just the next one coming in. Okay, yeah, start the third year of the 4-year plan. Invest in construction research. What will this do? Okay, we will do that. Okay, gain 1 research slot in Sachin industry or raw materials. Let's move that to the side and let's come over here. Okay, resource, industrial development, engineering. I think they mean these two. Okay. Well, maybe it's some other subdivision. I don't know. We've got we can do industry. We'll do industry. Okay, and now let's, yeah, just this one here. Right. Okay. This one, yeah, this one looks like the best one to start with there. Okay, industrial or resource industrial plan. Very good. Now, like I say, let's come over. Yeah, oh, that looks also. Let's do this now. Approve the general staff. And we now have another one. Well, seeing as we just got this through that, maybe it would have been better. Oh, no, this is the one we're supposed to be doing. Oh, okay, well, this is perfect then, yes. Because we did the manufacturing. Just for some reason started that. Okay. Yeah, we'll increase base stability. Let's look where we're currently fighting. Arizona's okay. They're getting. The Beck question. Okay, Ludwig Beck. We're going to keep Ludwig Beck. Let's send these guys. Well, let's send them way back over here. Let's find another. These tactical. Yeah, let's find. Let's send these guys down to here. Rebase out. Yeah, see, they're there. Okay, so they're just standing by there. Let them recoup. Now we should hope. Yeah. All right. Okay, we're going to do one more horse transport. We're going to do light artillery, and we're going to do standard trucks. So we get. To increase the number of military factories. Let's do it out here in East Prussia. And power plants, very. Radio equipment for support battalions. Okay. Let's do infantry radios. Need lots more radios. Lots more. 11%. Okay. March 39. August 38. So very, very soon to this. Okay, August 31. Okay, so we have good enough time to probably do one more. I mean, we can delay it if we want a bit. Okay, one military factory, 3 tank assembly plants. But that, more fuel gain, which will then allow more. We can do some of these other ones here because this does require that one. Synthetics, synthetic refineries, those are all really good. Civilian, black defense, office, okay, artillery, military, and power plants. I like that. A lot of power plants. Not enough steel? What the hell's up with our steel here? Oh. Okay, well, now we have, well, the Tour de France. Well, where do we want to push? Now we've been pushing here, which has been using up a lot of their forces. I think we will move over to here, to Guadalajara. Elastic defense. Okay, let's do some trade interdiction here. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Join in this fight. Maybe we can turn it around. Push towards Madrid. Okay, let's attack there. Or let's support that. This way we're continuing to draw forces away while also pushing towards Madrid. Right. Okay, let's continue though building at least one civilian factory because they have their uses and might have an extra. Yeah, just civ factory. But Okay, construction 2 is completed. Very nice. Okay, so we're looking here. Max entrenchment, land fort effectiveness, coastal defense effectiveness, railway construction speeds. That could be very critical. Weekly stability. That's also very useful, but right now we are very stable. So let's do infrastructure works. Okay, we are now on the outskirts of Madrid, holding out, at least for the moment. Spain is thinking about sending us reinforcements. They have. Now let's get reorganized, and I think we're gonna... Okay, Office of Armament and Defense Economy. Very good. That was that one. Now, yeah, let's do that. Okay, well, we've caught up with our sort of planned expansions here. Almost caught up there. We're way behind on horse transport. Light vehicles, slowly. Well, you can see here, yeah, we have the 5 earlier. Tanks, medium tanks, 14. Medium support tanks, 8. So I do want some more modern vehicles here. More modern tanks. Let's do that. Also need more radios and anti-tank rifles. I'm going to stop giving El Salvador and these other guys arms. Don't need to do that. Okay. Mountain guns. Ears. We'll do improved recon equipment. Hello, Greg the artist, my friend. How are you doing? Been a little while since I heard from you. Yes, Merry Christmas. Certainly, and some other time. That's us over on X, and I did not know that Restream was watching comments from the live stream over on X or Twitter. Very good. I will message you sometime. Also known as Exergen. Greg is a great miniature artist. Wargaming's miniature figures and wargame figures, very good stuff. He sort of stopped working for a while, and I think he's back to painting again, so... That's good. Full liquefaction, very good. Well, let's look... I don't know, we got a lot of these going with the specialty stuff here already. No, you know what I think? Here. Okay, we also want to get some of these. The howitzers. 30 anti-tank upgrades. Okay. Looking around. So, improved tank designs. Yeah, that could be good. Let's speed the research up. Yes, it is becoming. Well, very good that you're back to painting. Yeah, I do like being on Twitter. It's I seen comments after the live stream, but I've not seen them during the live stream because I use a service called Restream, just for those who want to know, that allows me to stream out on. Currently, it's up to 5. I could pay and do more. Up to 5 different services. I'm just right now today only streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Just the other two, Rumble and Kick, are a little harder to set up, and I just didn't take the time this morning to get those properly set up. And so it takes my one stream out and sends it out to the other services. Okay, you guys are massacre. Yeah, you guys are in good enough shape. So let's attack and support the attack. Again, trying to draw forces away from my sort of push around Madrid here. Now brought in some more. And if we can cut off some forces up here, that would be lovely too. 1938 New England hurricane. Oh, you've not seen the live stream before? Okay, well. All right. Okay. More. Okay. I keep checking. Oh, we're down. It's good. We're only using, well, almost 69% of our power plant, so we have lots more power right now we can take advantage of. We'll max that out for military factories in that province. Mountain for guns. We currently have any in production. Let's see. Yes, these are. I'm leaving these in there. We're gonna improve that, I guess. Doing the older seaplanes, it might. Okay. There we go. Slow, but we need more radios. Let's do 2 more factories. Once we get it. We're good. Right now, Greg, I am up in my secret mountain base that I'm building. It is far from complete, but it is habitable. So I am not at my normal home down by the seaside. Okay, embargo the French protectorate. Embargo the French protectorate in Morocco. Why? Oh, good. We just made that in there. Okay. These guys are still in good shape, so you immediately counterattack down into there. So you stop that. Good. We've trapped. Okay, 6. What's that? 1 unit they're coming out. Yeah, 7 units. Don't want to necessarily call them all divisions, but they are cut off. We are holding here. We now have 2 provinces around Madrid that we're holding on to. And, okay, you guys stop for the moment. We're going to let them starve of supplies for a little bit. I think we're just down 1 rubber. That's all right. Yeah, they're counterattacking there. It looks like we'll hold. Yeah, we'll hold against that cavalry division. Alright, storage buildings increase. More synthetic refineries, more fuel. Now, I think we can get the Sudeten land. Oh, well, yeah, reclaim that. Yeah, I think that's what we should do now. 37 days. And you support the attack. Now that we have another division there, sort of guard our backs. Okay, I think we'll move up to here to push on those units. Von Thoma is improving. Almost got offensive doctrine. Okay. We will continue our growth in military factories. And now that we've added a few more radios, let's add a few more anti-tank rifles. Okay, join in the attack there. Yugoslavia claims Bulgaria. Wow. Infantry radius, very good. Truck radios, yeah, I want those. No, Afghanistan. We'll leave Afghanistan alone. Probably what most of the world should just do, but unfortunately Afghanistan won't leave us alone. What's this? Brigadis Internationalis, the Spanish Republic. Because that looks like the Großdeutschland sort of symbol on the helmet there. So those German communists there, probably? I'm guessing. These guys are about ready to collapse. France and Britain announce an alliance, and we haven't even done the Sudetenland yet? What is this treachery? Okay, direct ground support. Well, I don't think we'll push ahead right now, but let's do motor cannon. And small caliber piercing. Improved submarine engine. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so now, oh, they pushed us out of there for some reason very fast. Maybe we were not well organized when we made it there. Okay, we're claiming Sudetenland. Well, we're going to demand its do that, yes. Okay. Romania canceling guarantees all over the place. Very good. Okay, so we got this province. Wow, look at all those military factories there. What is this per row? Okay, that's 10 per row there. So we've gotten 10 military and 2 civ factories with getting this province or state region. State. Okay, 5 civ factories there, and down here, 5 more civ factories. Very good. So we have increased our possession considerably. Much of a military unit. There may be a view to there. And 10 more military factories. Well, we're also going to significantly increase aircraft production here, which is going to run up some of those supplies, but we will handle that in a moment. Yeah, let's do one. Okay. which is no longer really the resource and trade. Yeah, this is okay. So we need more bauxite, which is coming from Hungary. I think is a good place to get it. Yeah, lunch. Okay, so we're negative 11. Positive 12, and we need more steel. Let's bring in, oh, we can get in more Swedish iron. Still not, Sweden still isn't producing much steel. Don't know what or why, but we should. Okay, first Vienna Awards. Well, we might wait. Let's come back over here. I'm not going to delay all this too long, but we got 2 more civilian factories. We'll do that. Here, okay. Yeah, we need to do that as well. But I think we will end this episode, not the live stream. The live stream is going to continue, but we're going to end this episode. It has been fun chatting with all of you. So I want to thank you and see you next time for more, yes, more Hearts of Iron.